I discovered the importance of training to failure over a year ago. And when I did, I felt like I was saved. I had just been stagnating for months, not gaining any muscle, not gaining any strength for months and months and months. Even though just a year ago, I had built the most muscle in the shortest amount of time ever, in my own experience at least. In 1 month, between like 8th grade and 9th grade, during the summer holidays. I had 6 weeks of summer holidays. And before the summer holidays, I was pretty athletic, but not really muscular. 6 weeks later, I come back into school. Everyone notices how much more muscular I am. And I think like, yeah, I love this shit. Strength training, I love it. Finally, I'm respected for my hard work for the first time in my life. I gain respect through the hard work I've been putting in. But here I am stagnating for months, and I think to myself, yeah, fuck it. What's this? And I hear all these YouTubers saying you should train to failure, train to failure, train to failure, train intensity. So I tried to do it. But it's only a few months later that I actually noticed that no, still wasn't training to failure. I still was training like a pussy. I still was leaving a lot of reps in reserve. And yesterday, whilst I was training, I discovered that even now, on some exercise, I didn't necessarily go to full failure. Of course, I was still progressing very well. I've been tracking my workouts and progressing extremely well recently on every exercise every week. But I noticed on some exercise, I wasn't necessarily going to full failure. And the lesson I want to teach you is that how much you have to grind to go to like failure or close to it will sometimes differ from exercise to exercise. On some exercises, it's gonna be not really that much of a grind for the last rep, and then you won't be able to push anymore. Like for example, I noticed the leg curl. The leg curl, the last like rep that you have in the tank, it's not gonna be that like such a grind. But an exercise I noticed that you will really grind is, for example, the neck curl. On the bench, the exercise for the neck, like where you go like this for to train the neck. I did it yesterday, and I really tried to push it. And the last few reps, I was just going super slow, but still managing to complete the rep with good technique. I was just doing that for like the 4 last reps. And that's when I noticed, yeah, on some exercises, I wasn't going to failure. On some exercises, I was going to total failure. For example, the overhead press, I did it yesterday. And yeah, I was going to failure already on overhead press. But in some other, I wasn't. For example, um, the dumbbell katana extension, like not katana extension, but the dumbbell extension there, the dumbbell overhead extension, is an exercise where I wasn't really going to failure. I was going very close, but I was leaving one rep in reserve, even though my goal was going to failure at least on the last set. And yesterday, I just tried to grind, and I noticed, yeah, the last rep of the overhead, like the extension, dumbbell extension, is a fucking grind. It is like a massive grind. So that's such exercises where you're really going to have to grind to go to failure, and some exercises where the last rep is not going to be like such a crazy grind. It's still going to be a grind, but not as crazy as on some other exercises. On the last few reps of any exercise, your reps should be significantly slower, at least a concentric, than on the first rep. Always. If your reps don't slow down at all, you're not training to failure. Your reps should significantly slow down the eccentric and the concentric of the reps. Should significantly slow down in comparison to the first few reps of your set. Always. If it doesn't happen, if you are able to maintain them at the same speed, then you're not going to failure. You're not even going close. But some exercises, the last reps will be slower than on others. But you need to really learn to push it. Like very often, I notice myself doing this. When it starts to hurt, when it's getting really painful, and you try the last rep, very often you try that rep, but you don't really give it your all. You kind of half-heartedly try to get the weight up, not really pushing to your limit, not really putting 100% into that last rep, because you're thinking, yeah, if I'm like you're unconsciously thinking, if I manage to get this rep, it's gonna be fucking painful. It's gonna be a fucking grind. So I will just fake it. Not really consciously, but you unconsciously think, so, yeah, I will just fake the rep. I will just feel it. So you try a rep with the mindset in mind, yeah, I'm not going to succeed. Not really trying to push it. But if you're really trying to go on to failure on the set, or even just going close to it, give each and every rep 100% of what you've got. Even the last one. The last one you push it to your limit. Sometimes you try to go to get the weight up like this, and it's gonna be difficult and you're gonna kind of like plateau here. And if you just keep pushing, you're gonna manage to get it up sometimes. But you need to like put 100% into every rep. That's the lesson I want you to get out of this video. Put 100% into each rep, even the last two ones. Because very often you're gonna unconsciously unconsciously fail a rep. Not because your muscles actually failed, but because your mind failed. Because you knew how painful it would be to grind to that last rep. So you didn't put 100% of your power into it. But because you technically failed that rep, you say, oh yeah, I went to failure. But you didn't go to failure. There was still, your muscles could have gotten that weight up with good form. But you decided to just say, oh yeah, I went to failure. You decided to not put 100% into the last rep. But you should put 100% into the last rep, 100% into each rep to get that weight up. You might fail sometimes, but sometimes you notice that you can actually run very well. So I'm going to watch some videos of some people, some actual experienced bodybuilders going to failure, training to failure, and just watch how much their reps slow down and how much they have to grind through the last reps, how much you have to push through the last reps. And then try to kind of compare it to your own sets. Do your own sets slow down that much? Do you actually make those weird, like, facial expressions at the end of your sets because of how painful it actually is? Because if you just able to go through each set with like a normal facial expression, you're not training hard enough. If you're really going to failure, bro, you should start making some weird facial expressions on a lot of exercise because of how painful it is, how much you have to strain yourself. So put 100% into each rep. That's the lesson I want you to get out of this video. Very often, you're gonna consciously stop a rep because you know how painful it would be to grind through a rep and actually complete the rep. So you will kind of lie to yourself saying, oh yeah, I want to failure, but no. Of course, the weight was going up very slowly, but you could have actually gotten it up if you just pushed hard enough, but you didn't want to. So you need to learn to separate just your mind failing and your muscle failing, because there are two different things. You don't actually gain anything from going to failure on your mind, and when your muscles still have reps in reserve. And of course, you shouldn't necessarily, I'm not saying in this video that you should go to failure on every set, but what I'm trying to say is that many people, including myself, have a misconception of what true going to failure is. And very often their definition of going to failure is actually a few reps in reserve, 2 reps in reserve, 3 reps in reserve, sometimes even 5. So yeah, hope you got value here. Don't run from discomfort, chase it.